Hey guys, let's jump on into this little recipe video. I have 1 pound or 16 ounces of natural unsweetened chunky peanut butter, and I'm going to add 4 tablespoons of coconut oil, and I got the naturally refined coconut oil, so there's no coconut flavor. To this I'm going to add 3/4 of a cup of powdered swerve. You can use any sort of powdered sweetener that you want, and I'm just going to incorporate this and mix it in really well and just set that aside. So it should look something like this. Okay, next we're going to work on our chocolate. I'm using the Baker's unsweetened baking chocolate, but you can use whatever chocolate you want and just sweeten it if you need to. This is unsweetened, so I'm going to sweeten mine. You can use a knife to chop it all up, but that makes a mess. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a Ziploc bag, and I'm just going to put my chocolate in the Ziploc bag, and it's way cleaner this way. Just give it a good zip and take any sort of heavy object. I'm going to use this tiny little cast iron skillet and bang it up until it's smaller pieces. The smaller the pieces, the better, but you know, I didn't really care that much, so I'm just going to pop mine into a microwave safe bowl. And I'm going to add the remaining 4 tablespoons of that naturally refined coconut oil. Once that's added, you just have to pop this in the microwave for 30 seconds and give it a stir, and just keep microwaving it in 30-second increments and stir in between until it is completely liquefied. If you were to make smaller pieces of chocolate, it wouldn't take as long. It took me about 2 minutes in total to melt my chocolate completely. So now we're going to take 1 cup of powdered swerve, and we're going to add that to the chocolate, whisk it completely, and then scrape down the edges and make sure that it's totally combined. And like I said, this is going to be really sweet, so any non-keto people will probably like it. And if you typically don't like super sweet things, then I would try cutting the sweetness in half. And next up, we're going to add some pure vanilla extract. You don't want to use imitation because that's usually made with sugar. So get that mixed in. It should look a lot like that. What I'm going to do now is just take a cookie sheet and line it with plastic wrap and go back and forth between the peanut butter and chocolate mixture until it's all done. I'm making candy bars out of this, but you can make bark if you like, and just split this mixture between 2 cookie sheets. If you want to go extra fancy, you could take a little toothpick and kind of swirl it back and forth to make it even more marbled and to make the top look kind of fancy, especially if you're not going to add nuts or anything to it. And since peanuts, I know not everybody can have on a ketogenic diet, then you can also use almond butter for this recipe. And if you are sensitive to peanuts and it causes inflammation for you, then I would highly recommend switching out the peanuts in this recipe to almonds to make it more keto friendly. But yeah, so once it's all done and set, you just want to pop it in the freezer. Overnight is best. I didn't wait that long because I'm super impatient. But here's after a couple hours. It usually takes peanut butter a while to freeze, and I didn't let it go long enough, but I figured I gotta get this done right now, so who cares? So what I just did is I made sure that it was freeing from the pan, and then I took my cutting board and I just flipped it out onto the cutting board and started to peel the plastic off. At first it was kind of getting a little bit stuck, and I was like, dang it, but it's okay. It'll be fine. Freeze it a little bit longer. And if you do the overnight method, then you'll just want to let it sit on the counter for maybe 10 minutes to free up the plastic a little bit, because it does get a little bit wrinkled, but honestly it comes off pretty easily once you get past a little bit of those wrinkles. As you can see, it's kind of slipping right off, so no big deal. And like I said, I was just cutting these into candy bars, so if you were tracking this, just go ahead and enter all of the ingredients into your recipe guide on your tracking app or whatever it is, and then just divide by however many servings you cut out of it. Or if you're making bark, then you could do it by weight. It's totally up to you, and that's only if you're tracking. Otherwise, just enjoy it, you know what I mean? I hope you guys try this recipe out. If you do, let me know in the comments down below, or if you're on Instagram, go ahead and tag me on there. I'd love to see your guys' recreations. But yeah, thanks for watching. I love you guys so much. I'll see you in my next video. Check out that food porn. It's good stuff. Bye guys.